We'd like to thank BetChrisCanada.net for their support of the Hockey Betting Podcast. I'm Brian Blessing in sunny Las Vegas.
And I'm Cam Stewart in cold Toronto, Canada.
If you love hockey and you're in Canada, and Cam is, by the All-Star break, even if you can't stop thinking about taking a vacation someplace sunny and warm, but you don't want to miss out on any of the hockey action, look for a BetChris near your next holiday destination.
BetChris is one of the leading sports books in the Western Hemisphere, with hundreds of sports betting locations throughout the Caribbean and Latin America.
Watch the game at a BetChris location. Food and drink specials and VIP lounges are available at many BetChris locations. Use the promo code PODCAST when you open your BetChris account.
Place some bets on your game and collect your cash at the window when the game is over.
BetChris offers single bets, parlay bets, teasers, and more on pregame and live odds for hockey and all your favorite Canadian and American sports leagues. And BetChris offers a variety of team and player props, including futures.
BetChris offers the best value odds on Canadian and international sports. Use the promo code PODCAST when you open up your account at a BetChris location. Deposit $750 or more and get up to a 40% reduced commission on your sports bets, up to minus 106 on single bets and parlay bets. That's the best juice in the biz.
So, if you're planning a trip to exotic locations from the Caribbean and Mexico to Peru and almost everywhere in between, the odds are very good. There's a BetChris Sportsbook where you're going on holiday. For more information about visiting a BetChris location while you're on holiday, or to listen to or subscribe to the Hockey Betting Podcast, visit BetChrisCanada.net. That's BetChrisCanada.net. Cam, you're Canadian. When you leave Canada and you're heading south, use the promo code PODCAST.
You're listening to the Hockey Betting Podcast, presented by BetChrisCanada.net. This is the Hockey Betting Preview for Monday, October 14th, 2019. And now, live from Las Vegas, the host of the Hockey Betting Podcast, Brian Blessing.
We love talking hockey. We love talking hockey with Cam Stewart. I'm Brian Blessing in Vegas. We go north of the border and we say happy Thanksgiving to my buddy Cammy, who's basically on any given day capable of eating a turkey drumstick in 6 seconds, but today it's a 1-9 shot.
Over under 3.5 plates. Yeah, I've already gone wild, Brian. Like we had the Thanksgiving, got the turkey out, got the leftovers. Yeah, got the gravy going, cranberries. Yeah, you know me, Brian. I love to eat, and I love turkey.
I've seen you eat chicken wings. Does a turkey leg suffer the same fate?
Yeah, yes, yeah. Oh, the way. Think about that too. The chicken wing's easy. I just slide it in and out, right, Brian? Kind of like the cartoons. All you see is the cartilage. That turkey. When the turkey sees me, man, he's got his eyes pop out. He knows he's in big trouble. I love dark meat, white meat, all meat.
I'd be very worried that after you eat a turkey leg, the way you eat chicken wings, that you might end up looking like a hockey player that got slicked and lost 7 teeth. How many teeth do you lose every Thanksgiving?
It's true, Brian. I know. I know you're right. I got like turkey hanging from my molars. It's awesome though. I love the old turkey nap too. You just go to bed. Everyone's like, oh, turkey's not going to make you sleep. Yeah, it's got tryptophan in it. Like if you eat enough turkey, you're going to be having a dirt nap. And I'll tell you, I love it. I love eating turkey and going to bed, man. It's so much fun. I'll tell you something though. Canadian Thanksgiving, it's not the same as American. We don't get the football. It's you get the games. You guys really do it up and make a weekend of it. Like here, it's just an excuse to see people you haven't seen get wasted and have some bird. It's only like a big one-day thing. But there was a party at my complex net last night. My Filipino neighbor, he was going pretty late last night. Oh, he woke me up. I'm like there's never any action in the cul-de-sac, but. Man, these guys must have got into something last night because they were loud. They were fired up. That's what happens, Brian. I got a lot of Polish people in my building too. Have you seen them drink? They crush booze the way I crush drumsticks.
So wait a minute. You've got Polish and Filipino neighbors?
Oh yeah, they invite me to their garage. That's what they do. They don't even hang out I don't even know why they're paying rent. They hang out in the garage, play cards, and get wasted. It's quite my neighbors are pretty cool, actually. They're good people. Most of them.
Who lives in the manhole cover? Who's down there?
I don't know. No. I'll tell you, these guys, though, they're amazing. Like every single night I'm doing radio shows, I hear the music in the background going. They invite all their buddies. Like they really live well, Brian. It's a good deal. I should have been a Filipino because their life revolves around a buffet, and I'm envious.
All right, you know what we love on the menu? It's a buffet of matinee hockey.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thanksgiving Day, it's Columbus Day. All right, Anaheim and Boston. Bottom line is, John Gibson is playing at the highest level of any goaltender in the NHL at the moment, and they've been a dead under team. And I'll tell you, I don't know how you buck that trend. And you're going to have Gibson going versus Halak. Where are the goals coming from? The total's 5.5.
Yeah, I lean under. The books are smart, too. 5.5, but you're looking at under 40, 45. These guys aren't stupid. They understand. They expect I expect a 3-1, 2-1 style hockey game, too. Got to give Anaheim a lot of credit out of the gate, Brian. Pegged as a bad team. They're grinding out wins. You saw the win in Columbus, all lower scoring. You said it. They win. That's the way they play. Very good defense. They don't have a lot of offense, but they can win those 2-1 games. Boston's great. They're a great team. I'm not really into laying 220 with the Bruins, so if you're going to do something, you take the under. If you feel like Boston, you parlay it, but I agree 100%. Getting 6 goals in this game will be tough.
There are a few games I like, Cammy, and knock on wood, off to a really good start in hockey, and the more I think about it, I think this is the best bet on the card.
Florida?
Healthy margin, and that is the Florida Panthers at New Jersey. I watched them against Buffalo. They got a lot of talent out there, and Bobrovsky made some incredible saves. They have some shortcomings in their own end of the rink, but I think this is, to a degree, a little desperate team. I think Quinville might have gotten their attention on this road trip. Florida minus 10 cents on the road at Jersey. I am all in.
Brian, I'll tell you something. I love hockey, too, and Saturday night, I had some dogs. I had some really good picks. I went 4-3, all 3 losses in a shootout. I've lost my last 4 shootout bets. Like I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to find a way to get away from it. You don't want to lay the juice with the plus 1.5, but there's nothing worse than losing a bet on a breakaway contest. I hate it. We talked about it before. I pray that eventually these guys go to 3-on-3. I could accept it more, but that's my favorite pick too. I've been thinking about the Florida Panthers from yesterday. I had them against the Sabres. They lost in a shootout. That's where I started my bad string of shootout luck, but I think they're a much better team than New Jersey. They have better goaltending, faster players. New Jersey's a train wreck on their back end. I like Florida to the over too. I think they might score 5 or 6 themselves. Give me the Panthers. Wow, nasty cats. No tender vittles today. They're sorry, New Jersey. This could be a long afternoon. If you took the day off and went to the Devils game today, you might be leaving after the first period. I think the Panthers kicked their ass, Brian. What do you see, like a 6-2 type of game? I think Florida murders them.
I think Bobrovsky's playing at a pretty high level, and Jersey's really loosey-goosey. Yeah, I like 5-1, 6-1, something like that. Yeah,
I'm feeling it. What do you think about Minnesota and Ottawa? I got a pretty good feel for the card, the Monday card, but this is a tough game. Ottawa's been gritty. What a win over Tampa Bay. You know how many parlays that killed? That was the old parlay buster. People just throwing Tampa Bay in parlays, trying to win easy money. It doesn't come easy in the NHL. That was a huge plus 250, 260 win for Ottawa over the Lightning on the weekend. What about Minnesota, too? They got smoked by Pittsburgh. This team sucks. The Wild are horrible. Well, I don't know what to do with this game.
Well, I'm looking at it now, and I'm thinking about this. Listen, I've been playing the Kings over. I mean, the LA Kings, it's ridiculous. Through their first 4 games, they had 29 goals, and then Vegas just beat them 6-2. Yep. It's a gift from the gods, the way they're playing. Sometimes it's low-hanging fruit, man. It's right in front of your face. This Minnesota team is atrocious in their own end. I mean, they've lost 4 in a row. They've allowed in the 4 games. This is what they've allowed. 5, 4, 5, and 7.
Brutal.
They're a mess. And Ottawa competes. Actually, maybe forget the Florida thing. It may be the over in the Minnesota-Ottawa game.
Yeah, do you lean Ottawa too? I can't be betting this Wild team right now. Thing about Ottawa at least is they might not be great, but they're gritty, right? You know what I mean? Like they're gritty. They could beat Tampa Bay. Minnesota, on the other hand, arguably they could be the worst team in the National Hockey League this year. Like they're bad. I knew they were bad. I didn't know they were this bad. And Dubnyk, he can't save these guys, Brian. They're old on the back end. They got aging forwards. Ottawa at home. Hope they didn't eat too much turkey, because I think the Senators and the over, I agree with you 100%. That over needs to be played. I could see, yeah, you said it. This game might be like 7-4, it's crazy. It's going to be a shinny game.
For outstanding information and special offerings and promotions, we invite you and encourage you to sign up for our newsletter today simply by going to the website, betchriscanada.net. And by the way, afternoon games are bizarre, right? No morning skates. These guys are all creatures of habits. And I will tell you this, Dallas is at Buffalo. I don't know what it is about day games, but Buffalo plays, even when they're horrible, they play really exciting and a lot of offense in day games. And oh, by the way, this power play is clicking at an incredible rate. When you've got Dahlin at the point with Eichel as a one-timer on the one side, Olofsson, the kid, is a power play machine on the other side. I'm telling you, as good as Ben Bishop is, it's an out-of-conference game. It's early in the season. I got to go, and it's a plus price. I mean, Carter Hutton's playing. He's fine. He's not great. How's this game 5.5? I like Dallas Buffalo over.
Yeah, I like more Buffalo. I don't know how this game's going to play out. The side, the totals. I like Buffalo's hot, Brian. They're your team, and I got to give you credit. Like, a lot of people I've talked about now, other cappers we talked about. We had guests on the show, the hockey guy. No, we're talking about the Sabres again. They've been great. They beat Florida, very good team. Like, Buffalo is just awesome right now. If you're backing this team, you're making money. As for Dallas, I just, the Stars are a weird team. I expect them to take a step back, but you said it. Like, I like Buffalo in this spot. I think they're playing great at home. They got good mojo going right now, and they're the dog in this game. I think the wrong team's favored. Give me the same, but even.
By the way, what the hell? That's why we love hockey. And all our friends, Bet Chris, and all our friends, Oddsmakers do an amazing job. Why we love hockey is there are sometimes numbers that you see that, it ends up being what the market moves it to. But that game the other night, Buffalo's playing unbelievable. Buffalo was a dog at home to Florida. How the hell was that?
Yeah, I'm an idiot. And that was. I'm actually one of the guys, and I was doing my show, and people were on Buffalo. I took Florida. I lost in a shootout. You're right, Brian. Like, it's one of those things that sometimes you think the team do. It's a little bit different hockey from other sports. Like when you're breaking it down, and you really can ride that hot hand. The Sabres. They're going to be a tough out, especially at home this year. And I think it's the whole city thing. Take a look. The Bills resurgence. They got Allen at the game with number 17. He's at the game having a good time. Like the community.
How about the Lions? The Lions and the Red Wings?
Yeah. It's great point. Like all these franchises, it looks like the NFL resurgence with these teams is really laying credence to the hockey team too. You're absolutely right with Detroit. Same thing. Overachieving, but Buffalo, the Bills and Sabres right now, it's great starts to the season. Buffalo Bills should have beat New England. The Sabres are on fire. It's good times in Cheektowaga, Brian.
Buddy, here's one. Man, I do like, all of a sudden, I'm like in love with his card.
You like a lot of, I'll tell you one thing. You're betting the Grand Salami over. We've just talked about it. You like Florida, New Jersey over with the Panthers. You like Ottawa, Minnesota. You think there's going to be more than 6.5. You talk about Dallas and Buffalo. The only game you like under is Anaheim and Boston. You're leaning Salami over right now.
Yeah, I'm staying away from the Anaheim-Boston game. But here's one for you, bud. And you're gonna, listen. They're gonna lose. We know it's gonna happen, but I don't think it's today. And I'll tell you why. Colorado starts 4-0. This is their first road game of the year, but they are starting a 6-game road trip, Cam. Now they're going to stub their toe on this road trip, but so often, especially when you get a long road trip, you want to get off to a good start. It's that first road experience and that bonding at the beginning of a road trip. You want to, it seems to me on a long road trip, teams put so much stock into that first game. This team's unbeaten, and it's the first of a 6-game road trip at Washington. I like Colorado.
Yeah, it's a tough place to play, Washington, but you get in Colorado, a very good team at a plus price. They can make a statement this game. No, the Avalanche are very, very dangerous. This is a team, come playoff time, if they stay healthy, Brian, they're a Stanley Cup contender. I think the addition of Kadri, I know people were talking about that trade to Leafs, but he gives them toughness and grit, and he's a pest. And that's the type of thing you need, too. That's what plays in hockey. That's good for the road. The team bonding, I agree 100% with these guys. Washington's still good, though. It's a tough place. It's a tough barn to get points in, but I agree with you. I lean Colorado in this game at a plus price, and I think Colorado, they're going to make people a lot of money this year.
Oh, you know what, kiddo? Yeah, make that a big foot-long salami. I like Edmonton, Chicago over 6.5.
I knew it. You like the salami. Yeah, you're going heavy meats today, Brian. I know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'll tell you this. I had Chicago on Saturday. It was a great spot. They were beating Winnipeg. They lose in a shootout. I was on the right side that game. I like the over. I know Edmonton's been great. They've been fantastic. The Oilers, when will the collapse come? Maybe a little bit later. But Chicago at home over a heartbreaking loss. I expect their best effort today. Edmonton, they'll score goals. Chicago will score goals. I like the home team and the over. I agree with you. I think Chicago can win a 6-4 hockey game here. It's going to be a real batter, but what can you say? It's hard to go against Edmonton right now because McDavid and Draisaitl are and Neil. Neil's been great. Hey, Calgary, nice move. Like, are you kidding me? Like, Lucic for that deal? They had a big story on the sports channels here. Great trade for both teams. Shut up. It's not the Edmonton. They're stealing the deal right now. What? Because Lucic a couple hits in a game. Give me a damn break. Neil's on fire, man. Great move by Edmonton, and you got to say it. This brass, they figured it out. Finally, you got good management there in Edmonton. It's scary. I like the Blackhawks in that spot, but Edmonton, this could be the year, Brian. Maybe they squeak in because I'll tell you something. They're a hell of a lot better now than they were a year ago.
And I will tell you this, buddy. I give them full marks, but it was a nice money-making opportunity for us in the early stages. Didn't do it blindly, but knock on wood, picked my spots correctly with Winnipeg, playing them over the total. Had them in both games against the Penguins. The home, they got killed at home.
Oh, yeah.
And had them over in the Rangers and Devils games on the beginning of that road trip. This Winnipeg defense is an unmitigated disaster, but you got to give Maurice credit that this team, because water's going to find its level here because they got a lot of weapons up front, and they are just flat out have no defensemen. Winnipeg, the deal's got to be coming soon.
Yeah, they need it, Brian. And you're right. Like, I'm actually surprised. They're playing a lot better than I thought, too. Thought they'd be atrocious out of the gate. They've grinded out points. The comeback win against New Jersey down 4 goals. The comeback against Chicago, they're grinding. They're not going to be one of those teams. I think maybe we fade them at home and they get too excited and try to do too many things. On the road, you play a safer game. That's one thing about hockey, right? You want to go on the road, score the first goal, silence the crowd, and play smart hockey. At home, you tend to do you gamble more, you make big mistakes, and the number will be better for the Jets. Maybe we'll take a shot with the Coyotes on Tuesday night against Winnipeg at a plus price.
All right, buddy, we'll wrap this up. Let you get on to your holiday. But I will say this to you. The one thing that's great about hockey, and I will tell you that knowing the players and knowing how accountable players are, and you can have power ratings and all these things. There are so many intangibles and all the angles we talk about, ceremony games, dad's trips, scheduling things. But I'm telling you, sometimes when teams hit rock bottom, you can run to the bank and play them when their professional pride is called. I'm just telling you, Vegas got killed. I mean, it was a 1-goal game. Boston skated rings around them. Then Arizona skated rings around them. Yeah. And out here, it's all a love fest. Like, it's like the fans, they think they're the Central Red Army team. And I'm going, kids, let me tell you something. These guys look slow. This is not the team it was 2 years ago. It's a bigger, more of a physical kind of team. But they got a guy like Cody Eakin back that helped with speed. But they got hammered in 2 games. And Gerard Gallant in his post-game comments, I'm like, everybody around here is acting like it's no big deal. You could just see it in his tone. He goes, we just said that the other night. Back-to-back games. Well, you just said that the other night. We can't be saying this too many more nights. And he never calls him out. Without stopping short, he in the media called him out. You just knew he ripped them to shreds in the room. And called on, so what do? They step on Calgary's neck, and they killed the Kings.
Exactly.
And they were a puck line plus price play in both of those games because they had their personal pride challenged, and that's the beauty of hockey.
Yeah, you said it. No, and that's the thing. Vegas is too good. After games like that, they're going to come and kick the Kings' ass, kick the Calgary's ass, and absolutely true, Brian. These guys are a damn good hockey team, buddy. And your backyard, it's interesting. You must be pretty happy right now. The Sabres are putting money in your pocket. Vegas will put money in your pockets most night, despite being favorites. You know when to take them on the puck line or put them in parlays. I got one quick question, one game we didn't go over. Opinion, Blues and Islanders. Lean to the Blues here, Brian, after losing to the Canadiens on the weekend. What do you think?
Blues look good. Islanders are a dog's breakfast.
Yeah, I agree with you. So we like the card. We really like Florida. We like the Blues, Ottawa, Minnesota over. You're right, Brian. This Thanksgiving Canadian card looks pretty damn tasty.
Buddy, I tell you, one giggle for the road here. So I'm leaving our football parties and go to the board and look at some of the player props that were out on the game last night. And they offered like 5 guys. And it was one of those, he hadn't scored a couple of games, but he has literally been their best player through the first 4 games. And they put up a prop, yes, no. They offered like 4 guys. It was Max Pacioretty plus $1.70. Or actually, it was $1 plus $1.70. Somebody hammered the no out here that he'd score a goal. So I jumped in plus $1.90 that Pacioretty would score a goal. Bam, power play.
Perfect. That's great that they offer those props because that's the thing. Like, it's crazy. Even with Edmonton, it's like Draisaitl and McDavid. Like, I don't even care if you lay juice. Like, it's a lock, right? Like the thing is, and not many things are like, night after night after night, Brian. That's great that they offer that stuff because that these guys are going to put points on the board. And that's the thing about Vegas. When you're a team like them that score that many goals, your odds are great. You're like, oh, this guy can score. This guy, like, there's so many guys, and you know what? To put a player of his ilk at a plus price, that's good gambling right there.
All right, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving, and just in honor of you. On behalf of our producer Mike, and our technical engineer Darren, we want to. We have a wonderful organization. I'm like
organization.
And just on your behalf on Thanksgiving, I plan on somewhere along the way today cavalierly throwing an extra U in a word for no reason.
No do to boot it, Brian. I'll make sure I get my milk in a bag. I know. I honestly, I know we crack that joke all the time. I actually bought bagged milk because it was on sale. What a loser. Like, are you kidding me? Every time I watch a commercial and I see like an old guy like milk in glass, I'm like, see, that's how you get it done. At least in plastic. I'll take plastic in the 2-hole, but like, give me some milk in a glass. The bag, what a loser. Like, it's so stupid. I'm with you. Like, I want to see I want to see them, doing the tug and pull on the cow right into the plastic bag. That's right. Snip, snip. And, that's just so stupid. Another thing, Brian, like, I go to the liquor store the other day. I remember that time I came over to yours for breakfast and you served me vodka. That was kind of different, but it was a lot of fun. And you got that bottle of paint thinner, that Ricola. You're like, hey, it's $9.99 or whatever. That bottle costs like $6. I'm telling you, Brian, when I went to Buffalo to the liquor warehouse, I'm getting vodka for $20 at our place at $60. Like, if we do anything, if I was prime minister, I'd lower the damn alcohol prices. But that's a story for another day and another podcast.
Let me just tell you something, man. When you go out and you go, just give me a vodka and pineapple. And well, do you want the Absolute or do you want the Tito's? And I look at him and go, you got any Popov or McCormick's or Kamchatka?
that McCormick's, that stuff will take off paint too. Oh. Yeah, Brian, you're the king of the discount vodkas and liquors. I love it. No, that bottle of Ricola could have lit my house on fire.
Happy Thanksgiving.
With no lighter. Happy Thanksgiving, buddy. To you, Mike and Darren. Thanks for everything, guys. We really appreciate it and hope we can make some money. Brian, you've been totally on fire with your totals and sides. Great start to the hockey. I'd have like tons and tons. I got to get those shootout wins, Brian, but things so far so good in the plus.
Cam doing his Thanksgiving podcast with a big old hockey bib on.
You know me too well, buddy.
Happy Thanksgiving, buddy.
You've been listening to the Hockey Betting Podcast, presented by BetChrisCanada.net.
For outstanding information and special offerings and promotions, we invite you and encourage you to sign up for our newsletter today simply by going to the website BetChrisCanada.net.
The handicapping and sports odds information contained on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm the wagering regulations in your jurisdiction, as they vary from state to state, province to province, and country to country. Using this information to contravene any law or statute is prohibited. The podcast is not associated with, nor is it endorsed by any professional or collegiate league, association, or team. This podcast does not target and is not intended for an audience under the age of 18. If you think that you have a gambling addiction, stop this podcast now and please seek help.
Gambling and betting on sports is a form of entertainment and should be about having a good time. But when done excessively, it may negatively affect other areas of a person's life, such as their physical and mental health, school or work performance, finances, and or interpersonal relationships. At betchriscanada.net and the Hockey Betting Podcast, we're concerned about the addiction that gambling may cause, and for this reason, we encourage everyone to practice responsible gambling, an approach to gambling that helps you ensure that it remains an enjoyable activity. Here are the main principles of responsible gambling. Don't think of gambling as a way to make money. Always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Set limits and stick to them. Never chase losses. Don't gamble when you're depressed or upset, and create a healthy balance. Always be aware of how much time you spend gambling or thinking about gambling. And do not allow gambling to cause you to miss out on time with family and friends or time spent on other activities you enjoy. By following these guidelines, gambling can be a good time and great entertainment. If you feel at any time that your gambling is taking away from important areas of your life, is causing you stress or depression, or is leading to financial losses that are beyond your control, please reach out for help. Learn more at responsiblegambling.org.